Hey guys, welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So guys, today I'm going to cover the topic that is array list. Okay, what do you mean by array list and when we have to use array list? What is the purpose of array list? What are the different features and characteristics of array list and why array list is special in collections? Okay, so that's very important to learn about array list and so in the previous diagram, we have already seen that array list is implementing list interface, right? It's directly implementing with list interface. So let's start with. Okay, so in this particular topic, I mean, today onwards, we will start writing the code also for each and every topic. So today's topic is array list. So let me open my Eclipse and quickly let me create one simple, I'll go to new. I'll create a simple Java project. Let's see my collections sessions and click on finish. This is my project name. Under this particular project name, inside the src folder, let me create a package. Let's see, my package name is list concept. Okay, so whatever list classes will be there in future, we will be covering in this particular package. And let me create a class, and let's see, my class name is array list concept, and select the main method, click on finish. So forget about JUnit, STNG, and Cucumber and all those things. And we are not going to cover all those. We will cover only and only the concept. What do you mean by array list concept? Okay. See, first of all, I'll tell you one thing, that what do you mean by array list? See, array list is a dynamic array. Okay, in normal static array, generally we write normal static array is like this: int a is equal to new int, and we give the size. Let's see, size is 3, like this. This is a static array. Okay, I would say this is a static array. What is the problem with the static array? That the size is fixed, right? If I try to achieve the fourth value or fifth value, okay, it will give you array index out of bound exception. Why? Because this is a static in nature, where the size is fixed. So generally we don't use a static array, okay, in while designing the framework or dynamic applications, right? Why? Because the size is 3, it means I can store only and only in this particular variable, in this particular array variable, I can store only maximum 3 different values, 3 integer values I can store. That's the biggest problem with the static array, that is size is fixed. Okay, this is called, I would say, size is fixed. So how to resolve this problem? To resolve this problem, we use dynamic arrays. Okay, we use collections. So one of the most important dynamic array is available, that is called, okay, that is called array list, right? Array list. What will happen with respect to static array? Let's see, let me create a new diagram quickly. So if you write this particular line, right, this static array, if I'm writing like this, okay, it means what will happen. Let's see, this is a Java memory. This is a huge Java memory is there. In this particular huge Java memory, one array A will be created like this. This is the array A will be created, and we have given the size is 3. So let's see the size, it will be divided into 3 equal parts like this. Okay, and the name of the array is A. Name of the array is A, or maybe small a, whatever. Okay, now what will happen if I try to store some value? Let's see, I'm writing a0. Okay, a0 is equal to 10. I'm writing a1 is equal to 20. Index will start from 0 always remember guys. Okay, is equal to 30. So 3 different values I'm storing over here, right? So what will happen? This a will be divided into 3 equal parts. 0, okay, this is called 0th index, this is called first index, okay, and this is called second index. 0 1 2, right? Index will start from 0. And if I try to store some values like this, a0 equal to 10, so a0 10 will be stored at a 0th position, 20 will be stored at first position, and 30 will be stored at second position, like this. So this is the internally what happens inside the Java memory, that a0 a1 a2 will be stored like this. One array will be created, a0 a1 a2. But the problem is we have only three different values. If I try to store, let's see, 40. Okay, if I write like this, A3 is equal to 40. If I try to write like this, A3 is equal to 40. The problem is there is no A3. A3 is not available inside the Java memory, right? There is no address for A3. It means the fourth value, which is not available. In that case, immediately it will give you array index out of bound exception. So to resolve this problem, because there is a problem that the size is fixed, limitation of the size, right? So to resolve this problem, what we do, we use dynamic array. Okay, we use array list concept. So in array list, there is no problem with the size. Automatically, the moment you add the values, automatically size will be increased. Okay, so simple one object will be we will create like this. Let's see, this is an array list object which is available in the form of class object, and we will store number of values over here: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, n number of values you can store in this particular array list. That doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter over here in this particular array list concept. Okay, so how to reach, how to do that? So array list, we have one default class is available that is called array list. AR is equal to, let's say I'm creating the object of array list. This is a default class. I'm just creating the object of array list like this, array list. Okay, and this array list we have to import from java.util package. So just import it, right? So this is the array list object I have created. So one object will be created like this, which is represented by AR. Okay, now what will happen? Simple, I can add number of values. So simple, if you add ar.add method is there, I'm passing 10. Okay, ar.add, I'm passing 20. ar.add, I'm passing 30. Not sorry, add all, add only. Okay, 30. So how many values I have stored? 3 values. Now if you check what is the current size of array list is going on, so simple system.out.println, you need to write one method, ar.size method is there. Okay, so always remember how to get the size of that particular array list or length of that particular array list. Ar.size method is there. So ar.size will give you what is the value. This is will be stored at 0th position. This will be stored at first position, and this will be stored at second position. Right now, what is the size current? 0, 1, 2. It means 3 values are there. It means the size is 3. So if you run this program, see, it's printing size is 3. Okay, now tomorrow if I add 2 more values, if I add, let's see, ar.add let's see 40, and ar.add I'm writing 50. Okay, now again I have 2 more values. So this particular value will be stored at third location, and this particular value will be stored at fourth location, fourth index. So how many values we have stored? 5 values, n plus 1. Okay, index plus 1. What is the last index? And last index is 4. So size will be 4 plus 1. Okay, like this. So now if I check the system.out.println ar.size, it will return 5. Okay, so array list is so dynamic in nature. That's a property of array list, that here we don't define the size, but in a static array we always define the size, that okay, if size is 3, we cannot go beyond that particular size. Okay, the maximum 3 values we can store, but here there is no limit for that. We can store n number of values we can store in this particular array list object. Okay, so what are the different properties? First of all, it can contain duplicate values also. Let's see, if I try to store ar.add, okay, ar.add, let's see, I'm adding 50. So duplicate values will be stored like this. So again, the size will become 6 now. Simple, right? So what are the different properties of array list? If we define the property of array list, the first value is that it can contain duplicate values, duplicate elements or values. Okay, duplicate values. Okay, it insert the value on the basis of ordering, like first location will be 0, then first, then 2, third, 4, 5th, like this. Okay, so it maintains insertion order. Generally in Java collection language we say maintain, it maintains insertion order. Insertion means we are inserting the values, but it will maintain on the basis of ordering 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now the next value will be on 6 location, like that. Okay. Third thing is it is not synchronized. I'll tell you what is synchronized. Okay, but this is the property that it is not synchronized. It means that is not thread safe. So okay, with respect to multi-threading concept, it is not synchronized. So that's why array list is slow as compared to other collections. Okay. Now one more concept here is that if you want to fetch the value from that particular array list, okay, it allows you random access. Why? It allows random access for to fetch the element, to fetch any element. Why? Because it stores the values on the basis of indexes. Okay. Now if you want to achieve any value, if you want to try, okay, what exactly the value is available on fourth position or maybe third position. So system.out.println, let's say I want to achieve ar.get method is there, just pass the index. Just pass the index. So okay, so fetching the value, retrieving the value from that particular array list is very easy. Okay, so simple ar.get, simple pass. Okay, tell me what exactly the value is available on fourth position. So fourth position value is 50. Simple ar.get 50 will be printed over here, right? So that's why it allows random access. Random access means we just pass the index name, index value. It will give you the whatever the value is available on that particular location. Okay. Okay. Now, if you see one more thing here, you can see that particular yellow line. Okay. This is called warning. I'll tell you what exactly this warning, this yellow line. But before that, so this is called size of array. Okay. Size of array list. This is to get the value from an index. Okay. Now if you want to print all the values from array list, if you want to print all the values from array list, how will you do that? To print all the values from array list, we use for loop. Always remember guys, whenever any collection is there in Java, either it is array or array list. Okay, so if you want to retrieve all the values, if you want to print all the values of array list, we have to use for loop. Why? Because it stores the value on the basis of indexes. So I can start my loop from 0 to 5, 0 up, okay, from 0 to up to the length of this particular array list, right? Because in loop also we will write like this, right? 0, then I plus plus, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So one by one, okay, loop will be executed, and one by one we can retrieve the value like this, right? So this is very, very important. Okay, so to print all the values from array list, we use for loop. So there are two ways. Either we can use for loop, okay, or we can use iterator also. I'll tell you what is iterator. I'm using iterator also. Okay, so let's see first what is for loop, how to use for loop. So simple, I'll be using for, okay, int I know that my first index will start from 0, int I equal to 0, because the first value is available on 0th position. And then I'll start I less than up to 5. I less than up to 5. Why? Because the last index is my 5. But instead of doing this hard code value, this 5, can I write like this? ar dot size and then I plus plus, right? I can write like this, and then system.println. I know that how to get the value, ar dot get, okay, and we have to pass the index. My current index is, let's say, I. Okay, the counter is I. So first time, what is the value of I? I is equal to 0, right? I is equal to 0. So first time I equal to 0. 0 less than size. Yes, size is 0 to 5, 6. So 0 less than 6, condition is satisfied. It will come over here, ar dot get 0. ar dot get 0, what is the values available? 10 is available. Okay, so ar dot get 0 will give you 10. Same time I equal to 1, so ar dot get 1, 20 will be given, then 30, then 40, 50 and 50, like that. Okay, so if you run this program, You will see the output. See, I'm getting all the values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 50. It can store duplicate values also. So the last value is also 50. This is the advantage of array list, that if you want to, it allows you for random access. Simple using the for loop also, because everything is available on the basis of indexes. Okay, so this is how we use for loop to retrieve all the values. Okay, now let's talk about one important thing, that I'll tell you what is iterator later. One important concept over here is non-generic versus generics. So what do you mean by generics in Java? In before JDK 1.5, generics were not available. Okay, so generics were available now after JDK 1.5, and now currently JDK 1.8 and 1.9 is available. So what do you mean by generics? So if you see this yellow line, you can see this warning line is saying that if you mouse over, it's saying that array list is a raw type. It means you have defined one array list, but what kind of values you are inserting, there is no definition for that. Okay, reference to generic type array list should be parameterized. Now what do you mean by this? Please define the JDK will say that, okay, Java will give you one suggestion that, okay, please define the generics for this particular array list, what kind of values you want to, okay, store in this particular array list object. Right now what is happening over here, I can add any kind of value, any type of value. If you try to add ar dot add, if I'm writing, let's see, 12.33, this is also allowed. Ar dot add, if I'm writing, let's see, some string value. Okay, let's see, test, this is also allowed. Ar dot add, if I'm writing, let's see, some character a, this is also allowed. If I'm writing some boolean value, ar dot add, let's see, true, so this is also allowed. So we are not defining what kind of generics, what kind of types of data you want to store. Right now in this particular array list object, AR, okay, through object reference, I can store different types of values. Either it can be primitive data types or non-primitive data types. Any type of value I can store over here. I can store strings, I can store integers, I can store boolean values, characters, okay, everything. Strings also I can store. Okay, so that's why it always give you one yellow line warning that please define the generics for that. So this is called non-generic array list object, because we haven't defined anything over here. Now how to define the generics? To define the generics, what we have to do, let me create one more object of this particular, one more array list object class. Let's see, AR1. Okay, don't create AR again with AR, because duplicate object variables are, reference variables are not allowed. Okay, now what I want only and only integer values I want to store in this particular array list. So how to do that? After array list, this is the bracket you have to use. This is called generics. Simple, you have to use, let's see, I want to store only integer. So I capital wrapper class you have to use integer like this. Okay, the left hand side and the right hand side both integer. Now see, the yellow line is gone. Okay, this array list here it's showing yellow line, but here it's not showing any yellow line. There is no warning. Now simple with AR1, if you try to add ar.add, okay, if you try to add, it will allows only and only integer. Let's say I'm adding ar.add 100. Okay, now if you try to add ar1.add some string value, okay, let's see, I'm trying to add selenium, immediately it will give you error. Why? Because boss, ar1 is defined with integer. It means I have defined the generics over here. This concept is called generics in Java. Okay, this concept is called generics in Java. Okay, so Java framework, before JDK 1.5, Java collection framework, okay, generics was not supported. Okay, now the Java generics allows you to have at a time, okay, in this particular object we can store different data types also, as well as a limited specific data type also we can define like that. Okay, so this is called generics. So this is not allowed. See, immediately it will give you error that method add integer in the type array list integer is not applicable for string arguments. Clearly it says like that, right? So this is not allowed. This is will give you error. Similarly, if you want to define the generic, and you can define the generics for anything. You can define the generics for strings also, or boolean also, or double values also. Let's see for string, and we can define the string like this AR2. So this is also allowed. Okay, and with this particular AR2, if you try to add, we can store only and only string values. Let's see, I'm adding test. In this particular AR2, if you try to add some double value or integer value, it will not allow you. So this is called generics, guys. Always remember, this is called generics concept in Java. Okay, now, so let's see, in this particular AR2 dot add, I am adding some other value. Let's see, some other string. Let's see, test selenium. So if you want to, let's see, you want to store some specific information, and all the information is available in the form of string values. So always it's a good practice to define the generics like this. Okay, but sometimes what happens, let's say I'm creating one more object. Okay guys, let's say I'm creating one more object AR3 like this, and I'm not sure about what kind of data it will be. It can be integer also, it can be it can be strings also. I'm not sure about it, what kind of data. Okay, at the runtime it will be produced, and I have to store in some string, in some array variable, array list variable. Then how to do that in array list object? I'm not sure about it. So in that case, we just pass E like this. Okay, we just pass E like this. And if you see, okay, yeah, because we are calling in a static method, so here also you have to write like this. Okay, but generally we don't use, because we are aware about it, that okay, that what exactly kind of values we are trying to achieve in this particular array list object. So sometimes you see that okay, this E is added over here. Okay, so that's where such kind of things are coming like that. Okay, so this is the concept of generics. Okay, now I'll tell you one more concept over here, guys. Sometimes what happens that okay, inside this array list object I can store different class objects also. Okay, user defined class object also in Java array list we can store. So how to do that? So let's see what I'll do. Inside the same package, in this particular same package, I'll create a class, very simple class. Let's see, employee class I'll create. Let's see, my class name is employee. Okay, without the main method I'm creating. And for employee I have couple of information, that let's see, string employee name like this, and int age like this. Okay, and let's see, we have string department. Okay, three different values we have uh, for this particular employee name, integer age, and string department like this. And I'll create the constructor of this particular employee over here, with this particular employee constructor over here, employee. And what exactly I'll write, and constructor name is always as the class name, and I'll define all these three variables over here that I'll initialize while creating the objects. Don't worry. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly it is. So this is string name, comma, int age, comma, string department. Right, this is the constructor I have created. And how to initialize this value? With the help of whenever I'm creating this employee class object, I'll pass those values. Those values will be given to this particular name. So this name and this name is different, guys. So how will you initialize these three global class variables? So to initialize this thing, what we have to use? We have to use this keyword. This dot name is equal to name. It means this dot global variable is equal to local variable, because this is a local variable. If the global variable and local variable names are same, in that case, guys, we have to use this keyword like this. Okay, and then I'll be using this dot age is equal to age, and this dot department is equal to department like this. Okay, so simple. I have created one constructor over here for employee class, and I'll go back to my array list concept class. And what I'll do simple over here, simple, I'll be creating the three okay, employee class objects I'll be creating over here. Three employee class object I'll be creating over here. How to create? Simple. Simple, by using the new keyword employee E1 is equal to new employee. Okay, and this new employee. Okay, what exactly it is saying? This is giving one error that we have one constructor over here, that employee constructor. Please pass these three values: name, age, and department. So let's say I'm passing the name is Naveen, comma. Let's see, age is 27, comma, and let's see department is QA. Okay. After that, I'll be creating. Okay, this age is 27, not in. Okay, it's a integer variable, because if you see, employee is name, age, and department. Age is integer, and I'll be creating three different employee E1, employee E2, and employee E3, having different name. Let's see, Naveen, Tom, and Peter. Tom is let's see 28, Peter is 29. This employee is from dev department. Let's see, this is from admin department, like this. Okay, so three employees I have created over here like this, right? Three employees I have created over here like this. Now what I'll do, simple, I'll create an array list. Create. See, this is an interview question, guys. They will ask you at a time of interview such kind of thing. They will ask 100%. They will ask. Okay, so I'm creating one array list. How to create the array list? Simple, I'm creating array list. Let's see, AR4 is equal to new array list object, like this, right? Again, now I have to define the generics. So to define this particular generics, what I want in this particular array list, I want to store all these employees three employees object I want to store. So obviously I have I have to define some generics, that in this particular array list I cannot store integer. I want to store employee objects. How many employee objects? Let's see, three employee objects. Okay, like that I want to store. So how to do that? So I have to create this, I have to make this particular array list as employee type. So how to do that? So I have to define the generics like this. What kind of array list it will be? It can store employee objects, it can store. So both left hand side and right hand side, I'll have to write like this, employee, like this. Now if you write integer, remember, if you write integer, it means in this particular AR1 I can store only integer value. If you write a string in AR2, I can store string values. But if you write array list employee, it means I can store employee objects in this particular AR4 object. So how to add? Simple, AR4 dot add. Okay, AR4 dot add. I'll be using what kind of employee? First E1 employee. Okay, AR4 dot add E2, and AR4 dot add E3. Okay, so three different objects I have stored in this particular array list. So what will happen, guys? See, it's very important, guys, to understand. One array list object is there, and three employee object, employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3 I have stored over here. And each and every employee, like this is Naveen. Okay, like this. So Naveen, Tom, and Peter store over here. All three variables are stored inside the individual array, and all these three, okay, objects will be stored in this particular array list object, like this. Now what will happen? Now what I'll do, I'll be using iterator to iterate it. Iterator, okay, to traverse the values. Okay, if you want to use all the values from this particular array list, okay, from this particular AR4, now I'll be using iterator for that. So how to use iterator? Okay, so first what I'll do, simple, on this particular array list object, what is my array list object name? AR4 dot iterator method is there. I'll apply iterator over here, and I'll store in this particular, this iterator method will return one iterator reference. So like that I'll be storing iterator. What kind of reference? Again, in this particular iterator also, I'll be storing employee type, and let's see, IT is the reference name is equal to like this. And this iterator is again available in java.util package. So store like this, very simple. So ar4.iterator I'll be using like that. Now I have to traverse. So how to traverse? Simple, using while loop. I cannot use for loop. Why? Because because iterator does not work on the basis of indexes now. Okay, although it will be stored zero index, first index, and second index, but I cannot use index now because this is the kind of object over here. Okay, employee object I have stored over here. So I have to use iterator in that case. So while I'll be using this method it dot, this it dot has next method is there. If in this particular iterator, if the next value is available, so what will happen? One iterator will be created like this. This is the iterator. What kind of iterator? Employee type iterator will be created like this. And it dot has next will check, okay, the first value is available over here or not. So it dot has next will point over here. Okay, so simple, it dot has next. If it is having the next value, then what exactly I want? I want, okay, it dot next method is there, guys. It dot next method is there, but it dot next method, what exactly it will do? After that, it dot next method I'll store in some employee, let's see, emp of reference I'll be storing over here like this. Because it dot next, okay, the first value will be stored over here. This is e1, this is e2, and this is e3. So it dot next will give you this particular e1 object. Okay, so because on AR4, this is the AR4, this is the AR4. AR4 we have, okay, implemented iterator over here. So now all these three e1, e2, e3 will be stored in this particular iterator. Now the moment you use itr dot next, it dot next, it will return the first value. And what kind of value it is? This is e1. E1 is employee type. So I have to store inside the employee type reference variable over here. Now simple, if you print like this, system dot out dot println emp, okay, dot name, okay, emp dot name, system dot out dot println, I'll be using emp dot age, and system dot out dot println emp dot department. See, okay, so let's run it and let's see what happens. See, it's printing Naveen 27 from QA department, Tom 28 from dev department, Peter 29 from admin department. It's printing like that, right? So this is a very important interview question, guys. Okay, how to store the specific user defined class object in this particular array list. So this is a user defined class, employee class. Simple, create the constructor with these three variables and then store the values like this. Okay, e1, e2, e3, store the values in this array list object, and with the help of iterator we have to use, okay, we have to print all the values and we have to iterate, we have to traverse all the values from these three different objects like that. Okay, so this is a very important concept, guys, and this is about generics. So in generics we can define all the primitive data types also, non-primitive like string also we can store, and some class object also we can define over here, right? Okay, now one last thing, some couple of other methods like that quickly. I'll be giving you some other options. Let me segregate this. Other thing is that one method is there that is called add all method. That is also important sometimes. What do you mean by add all? So let's see, I have one array list. Okay, let me take this particular array list, or I'll be taking some string array list. Okay, let's see, I have this particular array list AR5, and inside this AR5 I'm adding test and selenium, and let's see, I'm adding AR5 dot add, and I'm adding, let's see, QTP. Okay, right? Now I'll be creating one more array list with the string type. Okay, AR6 string type. Let's see, I'm using over here dev Java, and let's see Java script. Okay, so two objects I have created, AR5 and AR6 references. I have created like that. Now, what I want to perform add all method. Okay, so how to perform add all method? The adding second list in first list. What I want, adding this particular second list object into the first list object. So how to do that? So this is the method you have to use, guys. AR, okay, first method is AR5 dot add all. Okay, AR5 dot add all AR6. So what will happen inside this particular AR5? All these three values will be stored over here. Okay, all these three values will be stored over here. Simple. Now if you want to print all the values, simple, I'll be using for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I know that I equal to 0, I less than AR5 dot size, and then I plus plus, and simple system dot out dot println AR5 dot get I'll be using over here. So let's see, I'm performing the action everything on AR5. Okay, what AR add all method will do, okay, add all method will merge two array lists together. It means AR6, okay, will be added inside the AR5. Okay, so AR6 we have to use over here. Sorry. Okay, AR6. Please be careful while giving the array list object name. And AR5 dot add all AR6. It means all the array, array AR6 okay variables. The objects will be stored in this particular element will be stored in this particular AR5 elements. So now if you run it, now see, test Selenium QTP from here. Test Selenium QTP dev Java JavaScript like this. Let me segregate this thing system dot out dot println. Now if you run it, now see the output. I'm printing the output from AR5. So earlier AR5 having only 3 values. Now AR5 is having 6 values. Test Selenium QTP dev Java JavaScript. So this is the concept of add all, to merge two array list. Okay, this is the concept of add all. Okay, similarly we can use remove all also. If we want to use remove all, okay, remove all also, how to use? Simple, you have to use, if you want to use remove all, simple, you have to use AR 5 dot remove all, okay, AR6 objects. Simple. Now if you print again, if you see by using the for loop, if you print like this, okay, I have removed all the AR6 from AR5, and if you print it again, let's see what happens. See, only test Selenium QTP, I have removed all the AR6 values from AR5. So remove all also you can use like that. Okay, so this is add all, remove all. Okay, this is also there. Now if you want to check the intersection part, the common part, that is called retain all. Okay, the common part, if you want to check, another method is called retain all. Okay, so retain all, let's see, I have created AR5 AR6 again, and let me create this thing. Let's see, this is 7 and this is AR8. Let me, this is 7 7 7 8. See guys, it's a typical Java concept I'm using over here. No Selenium, nothing. Please practice. It's very simple. Okay, now what I want, let's see, test Selenium QTP, and I have only, let's see, this is test. So what is the common value? In AR7 test is there, in AR8 also we have test. This is a test is a common value in both the array variables, right? Array list variable, array list object, right? So what I'll do, I'll be using retain all method. So simple, I'll be using AR 7 dot retain all of AR8. Okay, now simple, I'll print on the console again. Let's print up to AR size dot get I. Let me segregate with this. Okay, so let's run it. Now see, only test is getting printed. Only the common part, only the common element will be printed. So this is again very much important interview question for ArrayList point of view. Okay, so only test is common. Test is common over here. So only test will be printed over here. Okay, so these are the different things are available in guys in ArrayList. Okay, and these are the different interview questions generally we ask at a time of interview. Okay, so please practice what is generic ArrayList, non-generic ArrayList, what are the different characteristics of ArrayList. These are the different 4 or 5 characteristics of ArrayList. Okay, how to define the string type ArrayList, how to define the integer type ArrayList, how to and again this is very important, how to define the user defined class object ArrayList. One of the most important interview question for ArrayList and collection point of view. They want to check your knowledge, and in fact in framework also you can use such kind of design and everything. Okay, so that's all for ArrayList concept, guys. I'll be uploading this video, and let me know if you have any issues. And so this is a collection series that we have already started, and okay, so this is the second part, and the next session I'll tell you what is linked list. Okay, so one by one we will cover each and every topic in collections. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel if you really like this video, and let me know if you have any issues with that. But please don't forget to practice, guys. Practice is very important, and I'll be uploading this code on my Git repositories also with the name of collection framework. Okay, so please check my Git repositories in the description. URL is given over there, so please check it over there. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching, guys.